Happy New Year 2020. Welcome to Singing Tips Live. My name is Benita Charles. This is the first day of the new year for Singing Tips Live. And we're excited to be here in a new decade, 2020. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope 2020 is going well for you so far. So far, so good. We're at the top of the new year. It's a new decade, so that's exciting. Hopefully 2020 will bring you much wealth, happiness, joy, success, and all those good things. Everything good that can come your way. I wish you well for 2020. Welcome to the new year. Hello, thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. My name is Benita Charles. Every week I come in and I bring artist development tips to artists to help them become professional. Hi, Auntie. We're just getting started. Happy New Year. Hope everyone's having a great 2020 so far. It's a really exciting time. The new year is a time for new beginnings. We can start over. Whatever we didn't accomplish in 2019, we can do it now. We have a whole year to get it done. Happy New Year. Happy 2020. Exactly. Yes. So far, so good, and I'm wishing you guys much success. We are on this journey together. This is Singing Tips Live. So Singing Tips Live is an artist development program that enables artists to take their careers to the next level. This weekly show on Facebook Live allows artists to learn the show part, which are all the things that happen in front of the stage, and the business part, which are all the things that happen behind the stage to help you make the money towards your art. This is called the process. By learning the process, artists will take their careers to the next level. The great thing about this show is a lot of these tips are universal and can apply to any profession. We've had so many people who said that they've gotten value out of these tips. So I'm so happy to bring you these values, and I just appreciate your support throughout the years. And we are in a new year, 2020. So of course, this is the time that people make resolutions. Now, a lot of the tips that we did leading up to today in 2019, we talked about different things that can help you towards your New Year's resolutions. So I'm going to be incorporating a lot of things that we discussed before. Hi, Trin. Thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Oh, so far so good. Great. Yes, that's a good sign. So last year when I started the show, I talked about I don't set New Year's resolutions any longer. I set New Year's goals. And the interesting thing, hi Kevin, thanks so much for coming in. Hi Michael, thanks so much for coming in. Have you guys set your New Year's resolutions yet? Well, I do New Year's goals and not New Year's resolutions, because New Year's resolutions tend to be very vague, and a lot of times people don't achieve them. And usually by mid-January, early February, people have already given up on the resolutions. So last year we talked about a series of shows that led up to, hi Ernesto, hi Robert, thanks so much for coming in, that led up to getting ready for 2020. So now that 2020 is here, if you don't have your resolutions or your goals written out, this is a good time to start, because we are at the top of the year. We are the first few days of the month. This is the first quarter. So the first quarter is January, February, March. So we are right at the top. So you can start over whatever you didn't accomplish last year. That's what I love about this time of the year. You got a whole year to work on it. So as I said before, I don't like New Year's resolutions because they tend to be very vague, and usually people lose interest and they get discouraged and they just don't get it done. So one of the things though, when we talked about in a previous show, we talked about your purpose, and in connection to your resolutions or your goals, I think that it's really good to start with your purpose before you write down a goal, or before you write down what you want to do, because your purpose is your why. Your purpose is your reason for these goals, the reason why you're doing what you do. And can make a difference in terms of what you're writing down. So your purpose is your why and the reason for every effort, not simply one part of what you're trying to do. Purpose is the reason for getting and seeking to attain all of your goals. It's your reason for being. It provides a framework for how you will approach things and should be a filter for your thinking and decision making. So this is so important because in the past I had a list of goals. I had a list of things that I wanted to do, but I didn't realize that they weren't really moving me towards what I really wanted, because they weren't rooted in a purpose. They were just a list of things that I wanted. But it really made all the difference in the world when I looked at my list and I looked at what I wrote and why I wrote it. And I realized that I had goals, I had objectives. So your objective is the small step towards your goal. And I didn't realize that difference. We did some shows on this in the previous last year, getting ready for 2020. We talked about finding your purpose. We talked about your goals versus your purpose and your objectives. And when I looked at my list of my goals, I had objectives mixed in there. I had goals, and it really wasn't cohesive. So needless to say, I accomplished some things, but I didn't accomplish what I really wanted. But when I went back to my list, for instance, I had on there, I wanted to learn 5 songs. Okay, great. Learn 5 songs. Why? Why do I want to learn 5 songs? Well, the purpose of me learning 5 songs is because I want to be a premier entertainment source for people who are looking for music for their events and private events and different things. So I want you to be able to call on Benita Charles Music if you're looking for, you want some intimate set, you want an R&B intimate set. So you call Benita Charles Music. Or maybe you want a band. I have friends who are musicians. I could put a band together, but I need songs. I need a good repertoire of songs. So my purpose is, that's my purpose. The goal would be to have an arsenal of songs available. The objective is to learn 5 songs a week. So I'll have like 25 songs a month that I'll be incorporating new songs. So when you think of it in those terms, it really changes how you write your list, and it really makes it more cohesive in terms of what am I doing? Why are all these things on this list? So that's number 1. Start with your purpose. Number 2, you want to set your SMART goals for your resolution, or not for your resolution, but your SMART goals towards your purpose. So what is a SMART goal? It's an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So when you set a goal, your goal is the object of the effort and the desired result of those efforts. Your goal has a beginning and an end. It's your destination. Goals can be short-term or long-term. So your long-term is your goal. That short-term is that small step, which is that objective towards that goal. So specific, what exactly am I doing? And that goes back to your purpose. Like why am I doing this? Measurable, it's kind of like the tracking of am I on target for my goal, and that keeps you motivated. Achievable, is this something that's attainable? Is this something that's realistic? Relevant, how important is this to me? You know how sometimes you can do things that you don't really care about. It really doesn't have an impact, but if it's something that really resonates with your purpose, then it's something that you're going to be interested in, and you're going to put more energy in it. And time bound, when do I need to do this, or how long? Is it going to take me a month? Is it going to take me a week? What can I do today? So that is your SMART goals. And as I said before, your objectives is the measure of the progress that you need to get to the destination. Those are the small steps towards your goals. So I have some tips, some New Year's goals tips. So the first thing is you want to write out your goal every day. And if you're ambitious, you write it out twice a day. Now, I got this idea from Grant Cardone. He is an award-winning author, speaker. He has a website called grantcordone.com. He has a podcast. He has a show with his wife. He has 2 shows, one with his wife and one that's more like for sales and marketing. But I thought that was such a great idea because you know how sometimes if you, at the top of the year, you write out your goals or your resolutions, if you still want to do resolutions. And then you don't look at them again, or you just put them somewhere and you don't see them. Out of sight, out of mind. You know, you can just get off track. But when you write out your goals every day, it puts that imprint in your mind every day, and it puts it in your heart. So you know that's still, you know, and if you do something consistently, repetition is something that really helps to also keep something in the forefront of your mind. Twice a day is even better. Now, I haven't been able to do that, but twice a day is even better. But what it does is it just keeps that purpose and those goals in the forefront of your mind. And from all of the things that you read online about the power of suggestion, and what is the other thing, The Secret, about when you put out good and you bring it back to you. I forgot, I'm sorry, I can't remember what it's called. But that will, whatever you focus on, that's what's going to come forth. So if you focus on your goals every day, you can't help but achieve them. And one of the things I like what he said is, don't worry about how you're going to, because sometimes you can get caught up with, well, how am I going to do this? Don't worry about that. You write that out, you keep that in your mind, you keep the positivity, you keep, the successful things in your mind, and it will come. The how will happen, and that is very true. If you're interested in Grant, he has a website, grantcordone.com. He's really good with sales and marketing, so if that's something, if that's your interest, that is, he's a good source. Another idea, manifesting, yes, exactly, manifesting, whatever you put out, because it works both ways. It works positive and negative. If you focus on negative, the negative's going to come. If you focus on positive, the positive, exactly, manifesting, exactly, Auntie. So another show that we did, we talked about ideas, and this is the time when you want to write out your ideas, because your ideas are the things is your money-making sources. That's the creative things that you think of, your products, services, things that you can create to make people's lives easier. Could be the thing that you can retire from. You can build your legacy from your ideas. So you want to create an idea list. And one of the things that I thought was really great from, I'll give you the source, but from a YouTube video that I saw of a gentleman, it was on marketing for artists. One of the things he said about your ideas is to take out your calendar and you schedule in the course of the year all these ideas that you have in mind. And I thought that was really great, because what that does is throughout the year you have things going on, as opposed to doing something once in the year and then you don't do anything for another 6 months or at the end of the year. But this spreads things out. An example would be, like, if you had something dealing with romance, you might pull out your calendar and look at Valentine's Day, February. There may be something you may want to do something in the lines with that. You got Mother's Day. Maybe you have a product that would be wonderful for a mother. Or you have Father's Day, of course, and you have Halloween, you have Thanksgiving, you have the holiday. There may be something you want to do towards the holiday. But I thought that was such a great idea, and it kind of helps you map out your ideas and your goals and objectives. So that was number 2 in terms of your goals. Number 3, tell someone or announce your goals. So this gives you accountability, because sometimes, if you don't really put it out there, it doesn't happen. But if you put it out there and you say, I'm going to, hey guys, I have this book coming out, happening on the next month or whatever, then, or you tell someone, yeah, I'm working on this. What it does is it kind of gives you that, it kind of forces you to get it done. Otherwise, it's just open-ended. You may or may not do it. Also, it helps you in terms of just being focused, maybe having that set time of when you say you want to do it, because you told everyone, okay, everybody, next month this is going to happen. You're going to make sure that it happens because that's your word, and you don't want people to say, oh, you know what, she's just all fluff, she doesn't really come through. So that's a great motivator. And number 4, reward yourself for your accomplishments along the way. And sometimes we forget to do that, and I think it's really important to acknowledge the things that you do, and every step that you make that accomplishment, it builds your self-confidence, and it's just nice to do for yourself. Sometimes you don't want to forget yourself, and it doesn't have to be big. It could be something small, something that you enjoy, but just make sure you acknowledge yourself. Even if no one else acknowledges you, you make sure you acknowledge your success. And those small objectives, any small step you make sure you acknowledge yourself. I think it's so important. So those are the 4 things I feel like will help you achieve your goals and stay on track in 2020. The first thing is to start with your purpose. Start with your why. This is the reason why all of these objectives and goals are happening. And I think it's so important to know why you're doing what you're doing. It just brings clarity, and you're more likely to achieve if it's a worthwhile why. If it's something that you're making a difference to other people, it's something that can elevate you to be your best self. Because you have to, if you're not at your best self, it's hard to do anything else. So, like, for instance, you may have some reasons for your why or purpose for your health. You may want to make sure you're in optimal health so that you can help someone else, or so that you can make a difference. And there's nothing wrong with that. You want to make sure, if you're not healthy, you can't do anything. So that may be a purpose. Your purpose may be, I want to lose some weight because I want to make sure I'm healthy for my family. So your goal may be, I'm going to go make sure I go to the gym every month. And your objective may be, I'm going to make sure I do 30 minutes for 3 times a week. So those are the kind of things that you want to think about when you're writing out your goals. Number 2, make SMART goals. Instead of just open-ended goals, you make SMART goals. That's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now, when you think of those in your goals in terms of SMART, the questions that you ask is, what am I doing? Specific, measurable, tracking your progress. Achievable, is this attainable? Is this something that I can do? Relevant, is this something that's important to me? And time-bound, like, how long is it going to take? Is this something that I can do in 30 days? Is this something I can do next week? Is this something I can do today? And so that's setting SMART goals. Number 3, you want to have accountability for your goals. So you tell someone, announce it on social media, or you may not be that type of person that you're a social media person. You may just want to tell a family member or a friend, but sometimes just getting it out of your head, putting it on paper, and telling someone about it will make it more real and make you say, my battery's getting low, so I'm gonna have to step it up. But will make you achieve it more, because my word is out there. I don't want to just say it and it doesn't get done. And the final thing is reward yourself. Don't forget to reward yourself for those small steps you make, because those small steps works towards a big step. And sometimes the small step is all you can do. And if you can do that, you are halfway there. So these are some things to think about when you're working on your goals for 2020. And you have time. We're just getting started. You can do it. If you already wrote your list out of your goals or resolutions, go back over your list and think about it in terms of your purpose. think about it in terms of a SMART goal, and think about those small steps you can take towards that goal, those objectives. And I think if you think about it in these terms, I think it'll make it more successful. And as I said before, write out your goals every day. I think that's one of the most important things that you can do, because it keeps that in front of you every single day. What you focus on, and as my aunt said, manifest, that's what you manifest. You focus on the positive, the good, and getting those goals together, writing them out every day. You can't go wrong. I wanted to give you some sources of the information. So the first reference is lifehack.org. That's a really good website. They have just a lot of resources in terms of self-development, personal development. And this article is 50 New Year's resolutions and how to achieve them. FitSmallBusiness.com, 20 best SMART goals. These are examples of 20 professionals, how they use their goals in a smart way. Blog.storyforce.com, the critical difference between purpose and a goal. When I really broke that down and I had to change my list, because I realized I had things on this list that it really didn't pertain to my purpose. And everything that you should do should pertain to that purpose. And that's what you have at the forefront. Rapidbi.com, the difference between goal and objective. And then YouTube from Bob Baker, making marketing plans for artists and musicians. And that's where I got the idea of the map in terms of the calendar. Putting your ideas on that calendar will help you, give you those small steps towards what you're trying to do, and throughout the year. So it's not like you're just achieving everything now and then the rest of the year you're not doing anything. When you put that calendar out and you schedule your ideas, or you schedule those goals that you want to achieve, it gives you something toward the whole year, which I thought was so great. So that was the YouTube video, Marketing Plans for Artists and Musicians by Bob Baker. So thank you guys so much for coming on to the first show of 2020. My name is Benita Charles. My website is benitacharles.com. You can always go on my website for the latest information with my blog, show information, my music, my video. Anything that you want to know about me, go to benitacharles.com. I started a Facebook group last year, Singing Tips Live community on Facebook. It's growing, and this is a community of all the Facebook fans. It's a place we can go after the show. I post the show on there, and I post other daily tidbits, encouragement, and I really would like to grow the community for a place where we can engage outside of the Singing Tips show. I think everyone who's come in and they signed up for it is growing. So thank you guys so much. That's Singing Tips Live community. If you type that in Facebook, that's the group that I created for this show. So a lot of things are coming up in 2020. I'm going to pull my calendar out, do my map. But I hope that this was helpful towards you for your top of the new year, for your New Year's goals, or if you still want to do your resolutions. But I had a thought about the resolutions. So let's say you say, Benita, I really don't want to do goals. I want to stick with my resolutions. Well, I think if you want to stick with your resolutions, you should think of that in terms of your purpose. For instance, you know how some people say with their resolution, I want to lose weight. Okay, that may be your resolution, but why do you want to do that? So that is your purpose. So I think that if you want to continue to do, just do resolutions, when you think of your purpose, you're going to automatically set those goals. You're going to automatically set those objectives. So I think if you think of, we can do a goal my way, or we can do an objective your way, but I think at the end of the day, we'll still end up with the same result, success. So however you want to do it, I say just do it. As Nike said, just do it. I'm using Nike's slogan. But it's such a great slogan, just do it. So we're on this journey together. Thank you so much for coming in. And let me know, how this works for you guys during the course of the year. Let me know if that makes sense to you. Maybe you're going to after the show, you're going to look at your list and say, hey, what's going on? What am I listing here? That's what I did, and it really made a big difference. So let me know if this is helpful. I want to thank you guys so much for coming in. I want to thank you so much for your support. You come in every week. I really appreciate that. We normally come in on Saturday nights, but this week I came in on Sunday. But you're still here, so thank you so much for your support. Looking forward to 2020. We're here already, but I'm looking forward to things in the course of the year. I hope 2020 is successful for you. I hope it's your best year ever. Keep striving, keep working. This is what we're doing here, is the process. Keep making those strides, those small steps, taking those objectives. Keep your purpose in mind. Keep those goals in the forefront. Write them out every day and see what happens. We'll check in. This is first quarter, so we'll check in at the end of the first quarter to see if this is a game changer to keep you focused, because as the experts say, people usually fall off mid-January. Let's prove them wrong. Let's keep this in the forefront, and let's watch what happens. So thank you guys so much for coming in. Hope you have a great evening. I hope you have a great week ahead. We're in the start of a new decade, so that's exciting. So looking forward to another Singing Tips Live with you guys. Hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Thank you.